Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Victoper high intensity searchlight. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So it says supports mobile charging, has a power indicator, has red and blue side lights, has some replaceable lenses for red, blue, and yellow light, has solar charging, it charges with USB and it can charge things with its USB. And here's some things for it. It says sight lighting, night repair, night patrol. It has some little warnings here like don't point it in your eyes. So let's get this open. So here we have the light. Comes with a tripod, lenses, and a charging cable. So let's look at the light. We have a solar panel on the back. So there's some plastic covering it here. It's kind of caught in the edge here, so I'm pulling it in slowly so it doesn't rip. Yeah, some of the plastic got caught around the edges there. So you can leave this out in the sun so it can charge. So one thing I want to say about solar panels like this, I've seen these on like battery packs and such. You shouldn't expect this to have a depleted battery and then you set it out in the sun for 5 minutes and then it'll run for 20 hours. That's just not how this works. The best practice would be to charge this up and then you can use it and then just kind of set out in the sun to maintain it. So say you're taking this camping or something, you might use this for something and then during the day you leave this out on the picnic table, the sun hits it, it replenishes some of that charge that you used when you used the light, and it gives you extended runtime. A solar panel of this size can only collect so much light. I do like that it has that because it can give you that extended runtime. Here we have a side light. These are the charging ports, and this is IPX5 waterproof, so you can't use this underwater, but if some rain gets on it, it's not going to harm it. We press this button here, we have a battery indicator, and here we have a USB-C port. That's for charging the light itself, and then we have a USB-A port, and that's for charging other devices. So you can plug your phone in here or other devices and charge them with this light. We have a place here you can put a carry strap. Here we have the lens with the LED chip in it. We have a trigger here, and on the bottom we have a 1/4 thread. So to turn this on, we'll press the trigger. We have it on. We'll press it again. We're at a dimmer mode. And now this video does have flashing lights, so you'll probably want to stop watching if that can cause medical problems, but I'll do it again. Here we have a flashing light. I should show it from this angle actually. And now we have the side light on. Press it again, dimmer side light. And then we have that red, blue flashing. So that flashing red, blue light could be used in an emergency. So let's try charging this real quick. Okay, so it's charging at about 1.75 amps. So depending on the state of charge of the light, it could charge quicker or slower. We also have this tripod here. So this flips out like so. And then this will tilt. So we can screw this in the bottom. And this is a standard 1/4 tripod thread. So that's a very long thread, but I guess that would make it more secure. Now I'll get this at the angle I want, and I can mount the light like so. So if you want to point it at something, you can use this tripod. Now, obviously, if I do it back too far, it's going to fall forward. So you'll want to, test it out and see how tippy it is. So if it was windy, this might blow over, but if it wasn't windy, I could easily have this pointing down. So if you're doing a repair on the side of the road, maybe changing a tire, you could say point this at it. Or if you're doing some other sort of work where you want hands-free light, the tripod's a good option. And it also folds up nice and small. Looks like you could also use that kind of like a handle too, although it has a handle on it, but if you need a different angle, I didn't have that very tight, but. So it also comes with these lenses. Looks like there's 3 of them, and they'll come out the front of this plastic piece. So you can see it slips in here. And then this will slip on the front. So set that down, press that into it, and now we have a red light. So the red is not quite coming through on the camera. It looks almost more yellow here on the camera, but in person it's more red. So we have a red, a yellow, and a blue lens. Then to take this off, we'll just pull it off. So I'm going to turn the lights off and I'll point this at the wall. I'll have the camera and the light about 4 feet from the wall so we can check out the light that this casts. I'll also then go outside later and do a longer distance test. Okay, I have a little bit of light coming in from the side, but it's pretty dark here. I'll turn this on. Okay. So we can see that there is a broad ring and then a spot in the middle. And there's a smaller ring around that. But it's a pretty even light. It's not perfectly even, but it's very even. I think it's very usable. When you're talking about a searchlight like this, you don't typically need super even light like when you're doing detail work, but this is definitely very even, specifically for a searchlight. Now that spot in the middle as you bring it out is going to be a very even white light. So, you know, I'm very close. And actually, I was holding this closer than 4 foot. This is at 4 foot right here. And actually, I'm going to back up, I don't know, 15 feet so we can look at that spot. So when you're searching around, you have this light on the edges in the periphery, and then you can hone in on your detail with the middle light. So I'll press it again. It goes to a dimmer mode. Press it again, we have that flashing mode. Now we have the side light. So I'm pointing the lantern down. It's kind of almost has an oval shape. So I think this light would work very well for, say, repairing a flat tire on the side of the road, or maybe looking in an engine bay or doing things like that. If you were doing like home improvement and you were wanting to check if your plaster walls were absolutely flat, you tend to want a little bit more even light than what this puts out. But for its intended purpose, I think this is going to work great. I'll press it again. We have the lower version of that, and then we have that flashing light. We'll throw the red lens on there, and here we have the red lens. So I'm sure there's all sorts of uses for these colored lenses, but red can be useful at night when you're trying to not blow out your night vision. It's just easier on the eyes. So that's what it looks like with the red cover on it. And of course in the camera, it looks more yellow. And outside of this middle area is a lot brighter in person than the camera is showing. I'll show these other lens covers really quick. I'm just going to hold them over the lens instead of putting it in the rubber thing so you can get an idea what they look like. So here's the yellow light. And here's the blue. Okay, so I'm outside at night now, and it's not pitch black out right now. It looks darker on the camera than it really is, but it's certainly dark enough to demonstrate this. So I'm about 50 feet from the garage in front of me. I'll turn the light on. So here you can see it. I think those are about 7-foot garage doors. So at about 50 feet, this is probably about 5 feet tall. So that's on the high mode, the low mode. There's the flash, the side light low. This is the flashing light. You can't really see that. Let me go back to that high mode and I'll kind of move it down so you can kind of see it has a pretty wide range of the dim part, and then you have that bright spot in the middle. Now here's the red spotlight. So it's not as bright as the white at 50 feet, but it's still pretty visible. So that's the Victoper high intensity searchlight. I really like this searchlight. It's super easy to use. It just has one button on it. It's lightweight. It's easy to control, and it has a really nice concentrated beam. So you have that really nice bright even spot in the middle, and then you have that even light past that. So it's really nice for searching for things. It has a really good throw on it. And this charges with the USB-C, so you can charge this with any phone charger, outlet, USB port, RV, car. USB ports are pretty ubiquitous these days, so it's super easy to charge this. But then it also has that solar panel on the back, so you can keep that charge topped off when you're not using it. So a lantern like this would be great for search work, emergency work. You can keep this in your car or truck. It's good for emergency repairs. If you have a flat tire, you can set this like this, turn that side light on, shine at the tire. Or if you're looking for a missing person or a dog in the woods or something, you have that spotlight there. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.